welcome to CGTN Live. I'm Danni, reporter. Here I am in Xinjiang. This is our day 25. We're now in the Lop Nur Village, which is situated between the Taklamakan Desert and Desert. And this is the Tarim Basin, the Tarim River we're in. And now I'm in a paddle, which is made of the poplar tree. And my colleague Xinchen is there, prepared for us a welcome ceremony performed by the descendant of Lop Nur people.
How do you like the performance, Danny?
Yes, I think that's very unique dancing.
So we prepared this for you to just be on shore with us.
Thank you. That's an amazing trip as well. Like behind us is the Taklamakan Desert, and this is the Tarim River. So it's a beautiful scene.
And also your chauffeur. So Amduls 先生 come over here.
He is my.
So let's introduce. I'm going to introduce you later. 我们一会儿再介绍你是谁啊。But I want to talk more about this dance. Do you want to join them?
Yeah, for sure.
我们能简单教一下我们现在有什么动作吗？这个 How to dance like this? What is this? 这个是什么啊？这个动作？
这个是什么意思？
这个是和面的意思。
It's like making a
dough.
Making a dough. Yeah, come over here.
Okay.
这个刚开始的时候洗手。
哦，刚开始 So
washing your hands.
然后把面粉放那个盆里面。
Oh, to put the flour into.
然后开始放水，然后开始和面。
And put some water.
和面，然后开始把面铺好薄薄的，然后开始切面。切面。
So cut the dough.
然后开始把面切好的面弄一下，这样弄一下，然后拉，开始拉。
Oh, so pull the dough, pull the noodle.
对，就开始拉，然后拉面。
Like this. But I think they're dancing, but I am like a robot mimicking.
Yeah.
Like really.
Why? It's like the pulled noodle, right? 是我们拉条子。
对。
这个，但是我们这个舞蹈叫做什么？
这是做饭舞。
So the dance is called like making dinner or making meal.
这个是我们那个罗布人的传统舞蹈，做饭舞。
It's a traditional dance here for the Lop Nur people living here in Uygur County in Uygur, Mongolia Autonomous Prefecture. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 谢谢你。We need to introduce our main guest right over here with a paddle. 阿姆东先生对吗？你的全名怎么念啊？全名。
对。
您给我们教我怎么发音怎么样 ？How to pronounce your name？ 阿姆东。用维语也是阿姆东吗？
阿姆东，爱不东。
阿姆东。
对。
Okay, so that's his full name. Did you introduce why we're here already?
Yeah, because today we're here. This is Lop Nur Village, which is not the original one, but I think it's rebuilt and by how people imagine that the ancient Lop Nur people used to live like. And this is a tourist attraction, and we can see there's many tourists here, and we're going to experience like how Lop Nur people lived and a little bit about their history and lifestyle to our audiences.
And Mr. Amduls is like a celebrity here already. 就是您现在就是跟个明星一样嘛。And Amduls lives in this village. He has a little shop for baked baked fish. 还在这烤鱼。And the ship, the little boat have you introduced the boat already? What is called?
Yeah, it's called kapen in the language, but it's made of the poplar tree.
我们其实可以看一下我们周围环境这么多人。So we have a lot of tourists here in in the touristy spot. Because right now it's Golden Week, National Day holiday here in China. In order to boost the local tourism, they have waived the administration fee, so people can come inside to visit, to experience the Lop Nur lifestyle for free. And we're seeing an influx of tourists coming to this place.
It's really crowded today.
就是阿公上可以看到我们现在有非常的多人来嘛，就之前我们也这么热闹吗 ？So we're seeing a lot of people here in visiting. Have you seen this big of crowds before? 见过这么多人吗？之前？
对，就是这样。今天也到，明天早晨也到，越多越好。
And Abdul told me that he's been seeing a lot of guys from the day before. That's the start of the Golden Week holiday, right? And also yesterday, and he hopes that he's going to see as many guests as today, tomorrow, so that he can make more money out of this. I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, for sure, for them.
那么刚才其实我们的丹妮其实是在一个卡盆里面嘛，
对，
就为什么叫卡盆啊 ？Why is it called a 卡盆？
就是那个没有我们打不像鱼，打鱼的鱼，打不像鱼。
所以是用那个就是做那个卡盆去打鱼，是吗？So they use that and go fishing with.
But why is it called 卡盆？是为什么是卡盆？卡盆其实就是
那个挖开的嘛，就是挖开的意思嘛。
卡盆就是挖开，
然后就是卡盆嘛。
那卡盆用维语怎么讲啊？
开麦，
开麦。So basically, 卡盆 in Chinese or 开麦 in the Uygur language is like for the local people they will call like anything that is sticking out or carved inside. They call it like this name 卡盆。维语怎么讲来着？
开麦。
And for Lop Nur people, they are an Asian ethnicity here in China, but now they are considered as a subgroup of the Chinese Uyghur ethnicity. Their history traced back like 1,000 years ago, but it's like the group have been faded out, and they kind of intermarried with other Uyghur people. And now they were considered like descendants of the original Lop Nur people, and the Lop Nur people is still a subgroup of the Chinese Uyghur ethnicity. 但其实讲到我们那个罗布人的这个风俗啊文化啊，和我们的维吾尔族是有区别吗？还是有更多相近的？
一样的，
一模一样吗？
一模一样。
但是我们有特别的地方吗？
对，还是就是那个是罗布人嘛，也是现在我们罗布人嘛，就是我们200-300年了嘛，我们现在维吾尔同化的呢。我们教师伊斯兰教师就是维吾尔。维吾尔人，现在原来嘛，没有，我们是罗布人嘛，就是那个时候也是我们也不清楚，就是所以我们把我们老爷晓得嘛，那个200-300年以前嘛，这个生活也不一样。那个
所以就200-300年，其实罗布人也不说。就维语其实也是后面才。
你看，我们就是那个啥，罗布人的话，那个你罗布话的话嘛，也是不一样。为啥？就是那个朝那个菩萨香曼的那个，那个嘛，罗布人嘛叫，就是玛纳，玛纳，
维语是。
现在我们罗布人是那个康巴西，现在我们叫嘛玛纳太远的很吧，就是不一样不一样的。
So actually, it's really hard to catch. I mean, I got what he's trying to say. Like, I asked Mr. Amduls, are there any difference between the Lop Nur people nowadays and with the bigger ethnicity? And he told me there are. I mean, it's quite similar today, but like 200 or 300 years ago, they're quite different. They have different language for different things. They have different names for different things. And now we're on top of the Tarim River actually.
And it's very shaky.
It's quite shaky, and we have a lot of more tourists, and they are actually taking their babies out here. So the Tarim River is considered the mother river here along the Taklamakan Desert. They provide water, and because of the river, there is an oasis that is suitable for lives and for animals, for plantation. And also a reason for why Lop Nur people have been living here for like centuries. 但是其实讲到我们现在的罗布人的文化，您觉得还有哪些是我们最大的特点是什么呢？
就是那个啥，老布人嘛，现在那个啥，那个维吾尔人，我刚才说了同化了嘛，不是？同化了就那个花颜色，现在维吾尔人教的，还是一样的。啊，刚才我说的那个红柳，那个你知道红柳啊？
对，
那个红柳，我们老布人叫，那个是葡萄，现在叫玉红。你看远的很吧，不一样。
哦，所以维语叫
红柳是我们教的那个老布人教嘛，也是葡萄。现在我们维吾尔话讲一下嘛，玉红，就是远的很不一样。
哦，但我们现在罗布人就我们的特色是什么呢？就作为罗布人后裔，我们罗布人的文化，比如说打鱼啊，还有哪些别的？
对，打鱼、放羊，不喜欢种地。
不喜欢种地，
不喜欢种地，就是那个打鱼呀，那个啥放羊。我们就是我们老夫人嘛，一个结婚的时候有一个孩子，就是打鱼的孩子没有的话，不行，找一个孩子。现在嘛，
我先翻译一下啊。So I asked Mr. Amduls like what's the main characteristics of the Lop Nur people. Is it like about their lifestyle and how they make a living? They're herdsmen, and they would raise like sheep, and they go fishing, and they don't like farming. And that's the main characteristics of the Lop Nur people. But as he mentioned that the culture between the Lop Nur and the main Chinese ethnicity, they are getting closer. And he had an example, great example about a very popular desert plant here. It's called rose willow. I mean, they call it differently 200 or 300 years ago, but now they call like a similar to the Uygur people. And I also heard for Lop Nur people, they live for a very long age, right? 就是说那个罗布人其实我们的年龄其实都长寿嘛。
对。
And right here we have.
And right here we have 3.
No. Like come over here. So I want to ask these old people. I want to point out about the hats that they have. It's called a hat for long prosperity. It's called 长寿帽 here. It has a shape of the boat. 对吧？我是讲没错对吧？就是它其实是我们长寿帽是按照我们一个船的形状来做的，
就是这个长袖帽嘛，就是这个长袖帽嘛也是三种的，老布人的也是不一样的。那个是这个用的嘛，卡扎克、蒙古的，就是3种4种。就是我们是老布人的帽子嘛，也是不一样。那个老汉的帽子，那个锯子啊，长长的，蒙古人的短的，哈萨克人的也短的很，这个短的，那个长的嘛，一看就老布人的老家伙，就这样认识了，那个看到就知道了。要不然那个不知道的人嘛，还是
the people like I mean this old gentleman is from Lop Nur because of the hat. It's wider, it's narrower, and has a like wider tip. And for the Mongolians here, they have a similar shape, but it's like shorter, especially the edge. And as I mentioned, is inspired by the boat. And the Lop Nur people are very famous of like go fishing. 您多大了？104. Oh, I just asked this old gentleman. Yichang, I just asked this old gentleman how old is him, and he told me that he is 104 years old. 跟这两位他们多大了？106对吗？然后那位呢？那个102。And the gentleman sitting at the middle, and he is 104 years. 106 years old. And on the side, and kind of chopping up the wood, and he's 102 years old. And I hope that as I grow old, I can be strong as this. 就是他在做什么? What is he making?
Hijack.
Wow. So actually, he is carving out a bowl out of the big chunk of wood, and it will be like 就是会做成那个样子，对吗？那你去拿一下。
Yeah. And this would be the final products.
So it will be like this. Just like this. 看不，你去给他送过去。
So this is what he's doing, and the final product would be like this, like a bowl.
哎，这个也能叫做卡盆对吗？
这是湖面盆儿，湖面盆儿，
湖面的盆儿，
湖面的盆儿。
但是能叫做卡盆吗？
哎，卡盆就是这个那个。
是这个叫卡盆对吗？
卡盆。
So I want to. I mean, we have a better visualize here to explain like copper. How to say it in Uygur again? I'm sorry. Copper.
Cayman.
Cayman.
Cayman. It's like the car from Porsche. Cayman. So it's a very narrow. It's carved out inside, and this is called a copper or Cayman. Cayman. And they also can do things like a bowl. This bowl is for making noodles and to making the dough. 这都是胡杨做的吗？
胡杨。
And it's actually made from the diversifolious poplar, a very special kind of poplar that can only be found on desert. Kangnet. And Tangnet, that's the name for the Uyghur people, I mean, the Lop Nur people, and call this Tangnet. I'm learning, I'm picking up another language. And how long will it take to make this? 这个要花多久才能做出来啊？ 2 days, and they can finish one of these kind of thing. 也是用来卖吗？卖给游客的。这得多少钱啊？ It's like 200 RMB. That would be like $30. $30 made from 100% of
Like $20, like $20 US.
$20 US.
30. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
30. Yeah, it's about $30 US. Because 200 yuan, and it needs like 2 days of
Hardworking like this.
from like Cetarians, you know, with ages over like 100 years old. And if you have a chance to pop up, and of course this is a place you can visit and get some souvenirs done. And let's come over here. And we want to visit like Mr. Mudun's place, but it's a pretty far away walk. And let's just come and enjoy the scene here on the side around us.
I'm actually very impressed by like how chill they are.
I think I just heard that's one of the reasons how they can have such an old age, how they can live so long, just because they're so chilled, and the weather here is pretty good. The air is fresh, and
go fishing.
The Lop Nur people, they used to live in a very far area called the Lop Nur. It's a lake inside of the desert. 玉成，我们看一下这个，再看一下拍一下这个，拍一下这个帽子。But however, as the lake was drying out, the Lop Nur people was forced to kind of migrate into like inner land, and that's when they start to kind of integrate with other Uyghur people here, or even other ethnicities here in southern Xinjiang. And right here we have this artifact. I can say it's an art piece. It's the shape of the hat for the long prosperity. Of course, it looks like it's inspired from the bolt, actually kind of upside down bolt. 我们给一个正面的这边，这么看过去。So look at that. It's like an upside down bolt. And it's the hat for long prosperity. And it's the Lop Nur hat. 长寿帽，对。
Do you consider to get one, and then you can live a long age?
Me?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I mean, if I can live in a place like this, you know, with the fresh air,
Good environment.
and
blue
not
sky.
much work to do, and be chilled, and I think it's a pretty good lifestyle. But then in the busy city, you know, I'm going to put a question mark on that. And come over here, and we have a long walk to go. And I also want to show our viewers, because as I think Danny has explained this. This used to be the old side of the Lop Nur people when they migrated from the Lop Nur, very far away in the desert. But then they kind of remodeled it. They started to make it into a touristy spot, and they started to build artifacts that is inspired by the local culture. For example, like the hat for the Lop Nur hat for long prosperity. And I want to show something very magic to our viewers. It's quite special. Yeah, look at that. Look at your screen. Anyone make it out of it? What is that? That's like a face of an old man. Where's my finger? Oh, my finger's right there. So that's the hat, the Lop Nur hat for long prosperity. We have the eye, we have the beard, and that reflects a face of the old man face, the old Lop Nur people face, gentleman's face. Yes. And they have a name for this. This is a door for. It's called the Longevity Gate. I just love how they can like make up all these different names for different attractions. The Longevity Gate, designed with the Lop Nur old man as the prototype and built with sticks of various sizes, is made of like grass and sticks and wooden sticks.
It's a sign, yeah, and it's a sign of Lop Nur people's stockaded village. And it was a common gate, but has become a longevity gate in people's mind due to the nourishment by energy, vigor, and spirit of the Lop Nur old man.
Yeah, and the old man, the face of the old man was like Ruzi Sadiq. And I learned actually this was the original entrance into the village, but once they remodeled this place, they kept the gate and they made it into like a face of a old Lop Nur man.
Now it's attraction.
And of course, and we're now still walking to our Mr. Amduls' house. 您的这个屋子还有多远啊？大概？
不远。
大概有几百米？就你考虑那个地方？
不到100米。
So I just asked Amdul like how far is his place from us, and he told us it's still less like 100 meters. Let's visit your home first. 我们先去看看您家行吗？
可以啊，这我们家先过去啊。
So as I mentioned earlier, like Amdul is quite a celebrity here in the village. He has a house here, and he has a baking, like fish barbecue
place. And because there are more and more tourists recently, so he's selling those baked fish to the tourists.
就我们您经常会住在这儿吗？
对，
就是每天还是就是在县城会有房子吗？
没有。
So you just live here every day? 就在这
这个地方。
So and he actually lives here every day. Even though we learn like in the Uygur County here in Baingo, Mongolian Altan Prefecture, most of the Lop Nur descendants, they actually also live in the county. They live in other villages, and this is the oldest site, the original site for the Lop Nur people first like migrated into like the inner land.
像您这样子的像您这样的老人住在这个村寨里面，但是在县城没有房子的有多少人呢？
这个里面嘛，现在这个地方嘛，就是3家。
这3家。
3家，那个为什么呢？他们就是那个放羊、放牧，这样子的话嘛，那个草场喷开以后嘛，人嘛就是2公里、3公里一家，2公里、3公里一家，就是它里面和2边就这样子生活。
So Danni just asked Mr. Amdul like how many people are just like him are living in the village. He told me like 3 houses, but they are pretty far away from each other. But it didn't quite catch why they are quite far from each other. I'm going to ask him again. 就为什么住这么远呢？为什么？
就是他的那个放羊的放羊，还有打鱼这个一家一个。那个湖打鱼的湖没有就不行，我们的湖就是那个水泥湖，刚才你们看的那个。
所以就是我们的房子是得在湖边才有的。
对。
So basically, because of their horsemanship, the spirits, and they go fishing, they need to live nearby, like by the lake,
by the river,
and by the river, and they are just so all the 3 houses are actually close to the river, close to water, and also they are going to have grassland for their sheep and other animals, right?
Yeah, so they have to leave like a little bit long distance. That's how they can make a living.
我们能先参观一下你的房子，之后我们再来看你的烤鱼，可以吗？
也行。
So we're going to visit Amdul's house first before like coming back like do and show us how they bake the fish. 我们先看里面的这个房屋的建筑啊。
好，
就是我们原始的房子就是这个样子的吗？
对，我们介绍一下啊，
就结构是怎样的？
就是我们就是老夫人搞的，就是红油，红油街、红油房子。
看看这个造房子的这个结构，
就是红油，里面是篱笆，毛的外面就是红油。
So they make the wall from like this is the rose willow. And inside is 里面是什么？是篱笆。
篱笆。
That's like grass with mud. So they make the is a organic wall. Is a very natural wall. 但是这个坚硬吗？会不会容易倒啊？
就是那个啥，我们是老夫人嘛，也保护虎羊，就是那个全是虎羊的话嘛，就是虎羊嘛，不能看。不能那个就是我们这个红油。
我的意思就是说，这个安全吗？就是它
有安全，
结实。
这些。
So I asked Mr. Amduls, like, is it like easy to break? But he told me that it's very
strong.
Strong, yeah, it stands strong. 啊，我们可以到这边看一下吗？所以 this is your workshop， 这也算是你的一个小作坊吗？
哦，
这你也会做一些？
你也会做卡片什么的，平时。
So let's check out what we have here. It's like a little studio for Mr. Amduls, and he can make little things out from the wood. 这是红柳吗？还是
这是虎羊
？This is from the diversifolious poplar.
这个红柳，就是这个红柳。
And this is the rose willow.
这个是虎羊。
哎，我们有成品能去看看吗？你有个小屋子能展示对吗？And Amduls has a little shop with all the finished products. And he is guiding us to have a
那个笔筒啊，
笔筒 is like a
这个笔筒后面是这样子的哦，就是笔筒。
那个笔筒。
哦。
这个是。
这个图经，这个地方放。
Oh, that's a pillow.
That's pillow, like a wood pillow.
That's right. 这好，为什么要这个会对身体有好处吗？
那个搞筋就是搞筋这个是，你看我们就是我们的院子，一个这个嘛，我们小的时候，我们嘛老爷留的房子。现在嘛，水淹掉了，没办法。我现在就这样。
So this is the house, like actually already owned by
his grandfather.
Grandfather 这房子. However, it was destroyed by a flood, recent flood. I want to mention this about the flood. Is that like 2 or 3 years old? It had a huge flood here because of it's so close to the Tarim river. And many parts of the village was actually submerged under the water. And destroyed some livelihood, but I mean they recovered. I think that's good. Tell us a little bit about this poplar. 我们能讲一下这个树吗？这个树其实已经很老了，对吧？
这个树嘛，就是我们这个地区嘛最大的树。
So this is the biggest diversifolious poplar here in this area. Yeah.
我们就是老不人，我们是老不人，这样子一个树没有，我们这个不盖房子了。
没有树的话就不盖
房子了，就是必须，就是这个门这个地方嘛有一个树最好的。
So they're building houses that are facing to a tree, it's facing to the poplar. If they don't find like poplars like this, they won't build their house.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to know. Right? It's for what? 是为什么呢？是因为为了运气吗？还是为了就是说是更坚固呢？
对，这个第一个空气，这个空气凉快。第二个，这个树嘛，最少3000年好的东西。3000年好的东西嘛，地下睡觉，这个地方是长寿的意思，必须。这个虎羊，我们就是那个地方有我们的虎羊涧，就是这个地方出来的。我们这个黑哈胃不行的嘛，阳痿的呀，就是那个搞的。这个虎羊嘛，没有我们大禹的虎，孩子没有，我们不盖房子了。
Well, that's very interesting. So it's more like for longevity and for prosperity again. They're saying like because the trees, I mean the poplar diversifolious can live for like thousands of years, hundreds of years. And as we have explained, like they have like a 3,000-year legend of. Let's come over here. legend of the poplar. They can live for 1,000 years. They won't collapse for another 1,000, and once they collapse, they won't turn
Die,
into
yeah.
ash for another 1,000 years. And of course, and also there's a special material out of the trees called a poplar tear.
Yeah, poplar tear. It's good for.
Yeah, this is salty and the alkaline water.
Yeah.
And the
It's
local
good
people would
for-
think it's good for the stomach. Because our stomach is acidic,
Yeah.
and salty water
So they can
or
combine together.
alkaline water can somewhat like mix it and make
Absorb,
it
yeah,
better.
your acid.
And right here we are seeing Amduls.
Shop.
Yeah, the baking 我们考虑看一
Baking
下
fishy shop.
the fish shop。我们这个鱼是就是从塔里木河里的鱼吗？
다리만 거다 이게.
Let's-
만에
So this is-
양수럽 걸고 싶어.
So this is the
fish
fish from
from
the
the-
Tarim River。其实我听说，其实我们塔里木河的鱼也是不一样，对吗？有特点的。
对，到野生的。
Oh, so it's wild.
Wild fish.
It's in the natural. It's not like
Raised or
Yeah.
natural.
man-bred. It's not bred fish. It's carp, I think. 是鲤鱼，是鲤鱼对吗？
啊
是鲤鱼对吗？
啊，有鲤鱼、草鱼啊。
啊，鲤鱼和草鱼。
鲤鱼和草鱼
就是它里面还嘛五种，
啊
五种鱼。
有5种鱼啊。
啊
So there are 5 different kinds of fish in the Tarim River.
哦，那个草鱼、
草鱼、
鲤
鲤鱼、
花鲢、
花鲢、
白鲢、
白鲢。
鲫鱼、
鲫鱼
武强鱼。
嗯。So that's 6，已经6种了。
哦，就是那个黑鱼、鲶鱼，哦哟，多得很这个。
So, I mean, that's a lot of name here in Chinese, but actually they're all different kinds of carp. So basically carp, they're just carp fish. And I want to point out something. Look at how, like, they have like golden rim on their fins. They have this golden rim. 就是它边缘是有一个金黄色的这么一圈。
This is my first time to see how they cut the fish in this shape and in this pattern.
我们是怎么把它做扁的？
啊，
怎么把它弄扁的？就是掐完之后这么，
哦，
压它
这个嘛，这个夹子掰一下嘛，慢慢烤，慢慢烤嘛，味道好，就是那个胡杨，那个红柳这样子烤一下嘛。
啊，所以这也是胡杨和红柳对吗？
这是不是胡杨？
啊，这个是
啊，那个这个嘛，这样子烤嘛也是味道，比较好。
So they're basically this setup is like make a smoked
Circled, yeah.
Yeah, and the smoke coming out of the poplar or this is rose willow, I think. 这是红柳对吗？
啊，红柳的。
This is the stick is made out of like rose willow, and the charcoal is actually poplar, and the smoke will somewhat like cook the fish.
And little by little absorb the smoke and make it better
The flavor. And because I asked them, why they have this kind of like flat design of the fish, just because it can absorb better of the flavor. 但这个是不能直接吃的吧？这个
啊，
这是不能直接吃的吧？还得再熟，这没熟还是对吗？
哦，可以吃啊。
但这个还没熟吧？我说是。
哦，
这个
快了，
熟了
快了，
可以了。
快了啊。
So some of these are actually cooked, but I believe they are going to use the other oven to cook it. So if you ever have a chance to visit this place and visit Amduls, and he's quite a storyteller, quite a and the smoke.
Very smoky.
这个嘛，你来尝一下。
真的可以吗？可以的吗？可以的吗？
可以。
So, I mean, he's asking me to try it out. I'm going to try it out.
尝一下。
热吗？烫吗？烫吗？
哦，也有一点胀。
Take a bite.
烫不烫 ？Thank you， 谢谢。
哦，
有丝哦，就有。
It's not that hot. Then
But it's
I
pretty
enjoyed
bony.
it,
It's
yeah.
pretty bony.
it's very chewy. Quite salty because
It's flavor. 就是我们其实之前是要撒东西对吗？
盐巴
它撒了盐是吧
里面是有什么？
没有？
就只有盐对吗？
嗯，
just seasoned with salt.
salt.
It's good. Yeah. 好，谢谢您啊，木东，谢谢您。就是我们。Oh, I'm good. I just want to try another bite.
好，谢谢。
It's actually because it's not that fishy. It's a really good tasting fish. Yeah, it's really good. 好，谢谢您，然后也不打扰您了，我们再去逛逛其他的地方。谢谢您，谢谢您，
慢走啊，
好，谢谢您，
好，
谢谢。
好。
So we have another stuff to show our viewers. 谢谢您。
While I'm on the way, I'm going to finish my fish.
Of course. 其实我们可以看前面这些两边的。So we are now entering into like the bed and breakfast place in the tourist spot in the Lop Nur Village. So we have some tree houses. 我们这边有树屋。
As Xinchen just mentioned, this is the Golden Week in China, so people are having their holiday. So that's why we have so many tourists today here.
Actually, I want to ask some.
Yeah, sure. Let's.
打扰您一下，我们是央视正在直播，能简单采访一下吗？就看到你啊，
好，谢谢。
萝卜仁婚房。
能简单采访一下吗？小朋友今天开心吗？玩的？
开心。
是从哪儿过来的？
从库尔勒。
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 OK， 好，那就继续玩，但是也注意安全哦。
嗯。
好。
谢谢叔叔。
OK， 没有。So I just asked this young girl, did she had fun today, and she said that
Yes.
he's pretty happy, and she's from Kuala, which is the
North part of
the seat of of this autonomous prefecture. This is the administrative center of the bilingual Mongolian.
Autonomous Prefecture.
Yeah. And we're going to try to show our viewers about this. As I mentioned, this is a bed and breakfast place. It's like a hostel. The people actually can spend the night
Here.
If you're willing to, you can spend the night in the Lop Nur Village. You probably will be pretty lonely, I think.
Oh, locked.
You're locked in. Why?
But as you can see, like outside, this is
So it's like shaped like a Mongolian
house. Yeah, tent.
I want to find the owner of this, and I'm so eager to show our viewers what's
How
it like
it
inside.
looks like.
But let's show our viewers this first. It's the wedding house. I think is what it's called.
Yeah, it's the wedding house for Lop Nur people.
So it's the wedding room of Lop Nur people. So the wedding room of Lop Nur people is a place for welcoming bride. House of Lop Nur people in early time was generally built with the reed, Chinese tamarisk, and diversefolious poplar, cheap and random. I think it's like affordable and different shapes, and of course and irregular, particularly the wedding room free from particular details. So they can make it based on the shape of the tree, and it will look like whatever.
So we got one comment from our Facebook audience, and he asked why people have a long age, can live long age here in this village. So as Xinchen just mentioned, because people here have really good environment with the beautiful sky, and it's located near the Taran River and also the desert. So they have very, very chill lifestyle, and that's probably the reason that they have a longer life and live long here in this village. So normally when you're traveling to a place, Would you like to like stay like a longer period, or would you like just visit and go?
It depends on how many day offs that I will have.
Okay.
I'm a city boy, so I particularly I would prefer to stay in the hotel room. I prefer to visit cities, very crowded, but then you can go shopping and go have some nice food. But going back to the nature, going to a place like this, building out of from the scratch of an old village is something that is quite interesting as well. I think.
You can learn a lot of knowledge about this place, the history.
It's about different things. I would never know Lop Nur people existed if I have never come to this place.
But how wisdom they are! Like, look at how they built these houses and how they use those things like nearby them, and just go fishing in the lake and use the wood to build the house.
Yeah, it's definitely like the tree house that our viewers are seeing on the screen. On the screen, there's a tree house, and kids are playing there. Just as Danny said, it's made from like tree from natural, like products, like resources nearby, the trees, the rose willow, the bushes, and everything. I think we just got the key into the room. I'm so happy. I'm so eager to get inside. I want to show our viewers and what's this inside. But we've already had a look inside already, and some people might be
Curious about what exactly it looks like. But also, this is great that they can like use their imagination to build a place like this, and for people to come and learn the knowledge and how exactly the lifestyle of Lop Nur people.
Come inside.
So it actually looks like a Mongolian decoration with this red like carpet and with a huge bed. I think how many people can stay here? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It has like 6 different
Like
sets
for like a
of,
good place for a family to stay in.
Absolutely. And they also have this right here. You can be a dining table and come sit with me, Danny. Oh my God, I'm tired. We took quite a long walk already. It's like almost 1 kilometer, I think, from the lake that you got the boat.
Got the
and
paddle
we
from
visited Mr. Amduls' house, tasted his fish.
This is a pretty good day. And also, this whole tourist attraction is quite large, actually.
Yeah, we are just actually experiencing a very
Like
small
one third
section.
part of section of it.
For signal reasons. Actually, it's right next there, as Danny has explained at the beginning, it's right next to the Taklamakan Desert.
It's between the Taklamakan Desert and the Kumtak Desert. So
really?
lies the river and this tourist attraction. And it's really beautiful thing over there, but like unfortunately we cannot go visit today, but it's really beautiful.
They have a lake called the Godness Lake, and we're really trying to take our viewers there, but because of signal reasons and we cannot be there. But why they call it a Godness Lake is because from the aerial shot, the lake looks like a beautiful lady.
And also, like if you're coming here, you can go have a hiking on the desert and enjoy your time.
Hiking in the desert?
Yeah, go hiking on the desert. That's what I've been told.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they provide
So
this.
it's a thing, hiking on the desert?
Yeah,
Okay.
hiking on the desert. So you can choose like a 1 hour route or 2 hours route. I can't remember about that part.
On
But
feet?
yeah.
Okay. I want to try that out, actually. Because I heard, people can do camel riding here. They can ride camels. They can also do, like, a little bit, like, get a really nice Jeep and visit the desert. And, of course, for our viewers, if you have any questions, ask us, and we can answer. And we will try our best to answer some of them.
Yeah. Another Facebook audience, Kamskri Sokoto, and he said, this is a very nice place of landing China. Yeah, of course. We're in Xinjiang, and this place is situated in the southern part of Xinjiang. So this is day 25 of our amazing Xinjiang trip.
Yeah,
We've traveled to many places all the way through Xinjiang.
Yeah, we'll be in it. We started the whole journey started from Kokotohei, like to Karamay, and to Ili, to Arksu, and we picked it up in Kashgar on Monday. So
Yeah.
we've been traveling a week on the road already. And we just finished driving on the desert highway, which is called the Tarim Desert Highway. It's the longest desert highway here in China. It was quite experience, but I would say I'm not tempted to try it again. But for our viewers, if you want to visit Xinjiang, if you want to try to, at least I think for a lifetime, try to drive on the Tarim Desert Highway for just once is a different experience.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess we're going to end here and say goodbye to our audiences. Stay tuned with CGTN and do leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Chinese Weibo. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
农夫挺体力行。